and welcome to the Nordic Championship in Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, broadcast here live from the Monster Energy Dreamhack studios in Stockholm, Sweden. We have some really great teams here today, and we're going to have two semis and a grand final. So join us and keep watching as we find out just who is the best in the Nordic region. Now, yes, this is the Nordic Championship. We will be going on finding out who's the best from today, and the winner will be facing a North American pro team named Team Envious at Dreamhack. So let's have a little look at the bracket, of what is going on today. As you can see, this is the way it's going to go down. Barrage are going up against Gamers League, and then you have Team Menace going against Team Denmark. Then the winners will play each other in a best of 5 to find out who walks away the Nordic champion. Joining me today, I am joined by the wonderful casters. It is, of course, going to be Momo and Rel. Guys, how are you today?
I'm enjoying it so far. Obviously, we've seen a bit of the group play. We've seen a few games ourselves, but we're here once again in the studio, which I'm having a great time. Don't know about you, Rel.
Oh, really, really excited for this. I mean, obviously, we were here 2 weeks ago to see the Swedish Championships, and now it's like the next leg. We've upped the competition. We've got all of the Nordic region competing here to find who is truly the best.
Well, you've both come all the way from England to kind of see these players and see they perform. So let's, you know what, 2 weeks ago we saw the Swedish Call of Duty Championship. What do you think of the Nordic squads?
I mean, obviously, there's a lot of new players. We haven't seen all of these playing. You know, these have had the chance to actually see the Swedish Championship go down. So they might have got some different strategies, something that we haven't seen. But I'm interested to see the likes of, you know, Team Finlanders, Team Menace, and see what they can bring to the table.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited to actually see the Finland team compete. Team Menace actually placed 3rd/4th in the European Championships, where they did qualify for the Call of Duty World Championship, so a really strong team. And I think, you know, they may be one of the favourites going into this.
Speaking of favourites, do you two have any kind of favourite teams or players that you're keeping an eye on this event?
I mean, obviously, the Swedish champions, you can't rule them out. Barrage with... obviously quicker from the UK, but I'm looking out for Team Menace because Team Menace has the one and only Gef Kid on their team, so they may be one to watch.
And I've got to agree with that. However, when we were watching them play earlier, Team Denmark, dark horses, I'd say, going into this. Dougie went absolutely huge in both of the games. They did actually lose that pool play game, but definitely one to watch out for.
Fair enough. Okay, so we spoke a little while ago about, you know, the Swedish Championship. We were here. We had 8 teams with us. We talked a little bit about nerves for that. This is quite a big thing, actually, for the kind of community. Nordic Championship now, again, even bigger. This is to go play a North American pro team, Team Envious. Are nerves going to come into play again?
I've got to say, I mean, like you said, they've just stepped up that one bit. Swedish Championships, you're now into Nordic Championships, and to be going on, you know, to potentially be playing Team Envious at Dreamhack is just, you know, that is, you know, you've got to be nervous going into this game. I know I would be for sure. I know Rel had a nervous experience at his first event, so...
Still does yeah, every single event for Rel.
But all these guys, I mean, you can see, they'll be calm and composed. They've already played a few games themselves, but going into the you know, the single elimination bracket, you've got to be a little bit nervous.
Well, today we actually are going to have a contest. So there is a contest available for everyone watching at home who wants to kind of join in on the competition. We will be actually having DLC 1, 2, and 3 codes available to give away. Do note these are only for Xbox One. If you want a chance to win, people watching at home, it's #DHCOD. And give us a motivation of why you want to win these DLC codes. Of course, you can get your hands on the brand new Supremacy as well by watching this broadcast, but you must be following @Dreamhack for a chance to win. Not only that, but keep your eyes glued because there will be codes pop up constantly throughout the broadcast for a chance to win. So don't stop watching and make sure you're ready because it will be fastest finger first who gets that chance to win those codes. But let's go through these teams one by one.
All right. Well, you know, we're looking at the Barrage lineup there. We can see Quicker, who I've got to say was a standout player for Barrage. The all-Swedish lineup, bar Quicker, who actually represents Team Infused, a different European side within the UK. Incredibly strong. Watch out for him on the hardpoint games because that's where he's really going to shine. Yeah,
and of course we'll be kicking off first of all with a hardpoint. I mean, this is one to watch. But obviously on your screen, you've got the guys here from, it was Barrage, now moving swiftly on. But just kind of touching on Barrage there, that, you know, they've won the Swedish Championships. They've already proven themselves to be a great team in the Nordic region. Can they carry this over and win once again? I reckon they can.
Well, let's have a look at these team players. Now, they said very kind of impressive performance we saw just 2 weeks ago. And they really kind of just swept people aside. I mean, if you remember, they took down Team Orbit very, very easily. Very convincingly as well.
Yeah, and they were the main rivals going into this. But we can see now on the screen, it's going to be Gamers League, the Norwegian team that they're going to be fighting against here. Just kind of panning across all these players. There's Stan, a strong SMG for those guys. Definitely watch out for him with some heavy slaying work. That's really where he's going to shine particularly. Interesting quite watching these guys. They always tend to play 3 SMG, 1 AR, that AR being Hovet. And it's actually, there we go, that's actually going to be Jaggy that we can see on the screen. So he does adopt this in-game leader-esque role, I would say. Mo, I don't know if you agree with that, but we always see him making those objective plays and kind of guiding his team through each map and through each game mode.
I mean, making the calls as well. When you're in an S&D, even down to things like hardpoint as well, you've got to make those playmaker calls. And then obviously, you know, the whole team comes together with Hoffert. I mean, going into this tournament, you know, we've not seen too much of them already. They've played a group game. They're now going up against Team Barrage, so potentially one of the best teams here. So they've got a lot on the shoulders. Can they come through with the W?
Well, Hoffert, I mean, he's this AR Slayer. He's the one that's really got to shine for those guys if they want to stand a chance here. Because I've got to say, of the 4 regions that are actually competing here in the Nordic Championship, I'd probably say Gamers League are the heavy underdogs going into this, but that doesn't mean that they can't pull something out of the bag.
Absolutely, and as you said, the 1 AR Hoffert, he's going to go off. He needs to for his team and put some big numbers on the scoreboard.
Well, I'm going to just ask you to put it down right here. Which team do you think's the best?
I'm going to go first. I'm going to definitely go with Team Barrage. I'd like to see not a clean sweep, because I do think obviously the talent that comes from these other Nordic teams as well, it is there. I'd like to see, I think maybe a 3-1 to Barrage, I'm going to estimate.
I'm going to say 3-0 to Barrage, and it's probably, you know, it seems quite an easy prediction to make that Barrage are the stronger team going into this, and I am kind of completely writing Gamers League off in some respects, but I do expect there to be some close games. I think the Search and Destroy is going to be quite close. You know, whilst the Barrage were quite good in the Swedish Championships on that, I'd say that's their only downfall, really, because we know how good, with the removal of Capture the Flag, that the uplink and hardpoint game is.
Yeah.
Oh, fair enough. Okay, if we had to call out kind of a key to victory, what is the player on both squads we must watch this tournament?
I'm going to start off straight away with hardpoint. You've got to watch Quicker from Barrage, because he's the Slayer. He's going to put huge numbers on the board, and that's what he does best. That's why they've got him in Team Barrage. And, you know, going into S&D, I think that's where Barrage fall down a little bit. I'm not too sure who's the one to watch for that.
Well, I mean, just going back to Barrage again, on the actual pool play, in the 2 maps that were played in the first game, he actually picked up 75 kills just over a hard point and an uplink, which is quite ridiculous. Both huge positive kill death ratios. So I've got to say, for him, he's going to be a big play for them. I'd say Solid as well, definitely one to watch out for. I know in the Swedish Championship came up clutch a lot of times. Going over to Gamers League, though, for Norway, I'd say keep your eye on Jaggy for me. And, you know, I talked about the fact he can be adopt this in-game leader role. He's going to be the sneaky one making the big plays, and I think that's what they're going to need. They're going to need him to make these sneaky moves with the uplink drone, maybe, if they want to pull out some sort of win here.
Yeah.
Well, fair enough. So let's find out from the players themselves. Let's get the teams or team leaders of Barrage and Gamers League here onto the stage. Hello and welcome back. So, joining me on the stage here, would you like to introduce yourselves to the wonderful people at home?
I am Kappa. I'm the team captain for Team Sweden.
I'm Stan. I'm the team captain for Gamers League.
Awesome. So, first of all, gentlemen, how are you feeling today?
Kind of confident. We won our first game, like 2-0, kind of easy. So.
Oh, you're feeling confident. How about you? How are you feeling?
We feel confident.
Pretty good?
Yeah, we do.
Awesome. Well, okay, so you've kind of sized up the opposition here. I mean, how are you feeling coming off, you know, the Swedish Championship? Are you feeling good with the team still?
Yeah, we haven't practiced much at home after we got home from the Swedish event, but I still feel like we can win this event.
Fair enough. How about you, knowing that you're going up against the Swedish champions? Is that a little bit daunting?
Of course, they're a good team, but we're going to try our best, so yeah.
Now, Stan, I've got to ask you a question here. So you've obviously seen these guys compete in the Swedish Championship, and based off their gameplay, have you reviewed that? Have you kind of been picking up some sort of strategy, some way to counter how they play?
Hopefully, but we haven't watched them too much, but we have researched a little bit.
And still confident?
Yeah.
You've got to be confident.
Yeah, of course.
I think Stan's confident. Secretly, he's confident.
All right, I'm going to ask you both. Best player on your team. Who's the best player in your squad?
I'd say Quicker. That's why we picked him up mostly, because it wasn't a Swedish player that we felt we could win with. That's why we picked him up.
Oh, fair enough. So he is the last kind of piece of your puzzle to kind of be that team you needed to be.
Yeah, we needed a sub player that could we played 3 subs in 1 AR, so we needed a sub player that could slay and around the hill. And there was no players in Sweden or in the Nordic region, so we had to pick someone else outside.
Oh, fair enough. I'm going to ask you the same question.
I said Jaggy. It's his first LAN, but he's playing good.
First LAN. Do you think he's okay? How's his nerves?
Yeah. He's playing good.
He's playing good?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. You guys got any more questions for them?
Well, I mean, I was just talking about Jaggy going into this. When you come to your first LAN, you're a little bit worried you don't know how he's going to perform going into this, because obviously you've played with him online, you know he's a good player, but this is where the pressure really piles on. Do you think he's going to play as well or better? Or
he's going to play better, I think.
Better?
Yeah. That's good. I've got a question for the team captain, Kappa, here. Obviously, we've seen you do so well in your respawns and that kind of stuff. Is there anyone that you're particularly scared of as an individual in this tournament? Now you're the Swedish champion.
Of all the teams.
Yeah, of all the teams. So like the Nordic region, you know,
all the teams.
Yeah.
I'd say Gef Kid overall from the Finnish team.
Yeah.
And after seeing Jaggy in the other performance, you can't say that he's not a good player.
Jaggy's one to watch.
Well, there you go. Guys, thank you very much. Please go do your final preparations and get ready for the game. We appreciate you coming on. So, after speaking to these two, what do you think? What are your feelings from that kind of interview we just had?
I'm just excited to see Jaggy, man. I mean, it's his first LAN. It's something which...
he's been talked up a lot.
Yeah, that's it. And
is there a lot of pressure on him? Is that what that means?
I think after things like this, I mean, he's come in and there's no pressure on him. Now, he's performed well like he does online. Now going into, obviously, the single elimination, this kind of stuff, maybe the pressure builds up. But I'm hoping he can hold his nerve and, you know, perform like he has done.
Do you think the pressure of both team captains and the casters saying, look at Jaggy, may have kind of come into it a little bit? That's quite a lot of pressure, let's not lie.
Yeah, I'm hoping it doesn't put pressure. I'm hoping he gets a bit more confident about that and just plays his own game.
Fair enough. Okay, what do you think is going to be the scoreline of this game?
Scoreline of this game? Oh, well, you know, we'll just talk about the hard point then, because obviously we've made our predictions, but just the hard point itself, it's not going to be a complete whitewash here. You know, Denmark are going to put up some, Norway, they're going to put up some resistance here, Gamers League.
Yeah.
But I still think there's going to be a significant margin. I mean, this isn't kind of the game mode where you can get one lucky kill and it can make all the difference. You've got to play consistently well as a team throughout, and I just feel that Barrage are the stronger team.
Okay.
I've got to agree. I mean, you've got the likes of Quicker, and I think Solid, like Rel said, he's just someone who's going to put big numbers on the board. So I think hard point's going in favour of Barrage. However...
Oh, you're going to go for the split game, are you?
I'm not too sure. I'm going to go with Barrage for this first map.
Are you going to go... I want to hear, is it going to be a 3-0?
No.
I'm saying 3-0. I thought you were going to predict a tie.
No, I'm going to say 3-1. I think Search and Destroy. Barrage
you think it's a split
lose.
map?
Yeah.
And your brother's going 3-0. Well, we'll find out who's got that prediction completely right. Just a reminder at home, don't forget about the contest for the DLC we have going on. Codes for 1, 2, and 3 of the DLC coming out, including the brand new Supremacy, which only dropped this week. If you do want to enter, it's #DHCOD. And we need your motivation. We need to know why you want to play this DLC. You must be following @Dreamhack for a chance to be eligible. And there will also be the great codes coming up on screen. Speaking of which, there they are straight away. Quickly, go and hammer those in for a chance to actually win and get the code yourselves. As you said, there's the DLC 3 and DLC 2 there. So you can play on the brand new Supremacy. Like I said, only just came out. So that's great here. I've had a few games and a few maps, including the Skyrise, which is a remake of High Rise, which is, let's put it this way, a favourite from competitive days back in the day. Well, without any further ado, let's hand it over to our team casters and get this game underway.